came here just to state my name and also let y'all know what I'm claiming. I ain't got to be famous, long as the hood know that I'm one of the greatest. I guess that's enough for me to make it. Sometimes that's enough for me to take shit, but that's never enough for me to take this music you can use and turn it into some fake shit. I'm representing the niggas from the pavement.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the next edition of Cutty's Couch TV, where we have the beautiful, and I'm so honored to have her here, Stevie Michaels, and we're going to talk about her new book, Third Time My Charm, which discusses like the sensitivity of domestic violence, but it is such a big occurrence in our society. So everybody, welcome Stevie Michaels to the couch today, and how are you today?
Hey.
All right. So first thing, we're gonna jump right in it, and I just want to talk about like the book. Like, what made you want to write this book?
Unfortunately, I've had a little bit of a rough journey, and I hid a lot of things from family and friends, and you know, like typical abuse victims, we don't want to speak on it because we're embarrassed, and you know, we're trying to process the whole thing, and you know, we don't know where to go with it. And I held on to the events that happened in my life for such a long time, and I felt like that had such a stronghold on me. And I felt like there was a form of control. It had me locked in, and I needed to release that. And I also wanted to bring awareness to domestic abuse and how it's not okay. I still have some friends that are going through some things, and people that I know, and I felt it was time to speak, you know, let that fear go, tell my story. That's also a form of healing, and yeah, the baby was born.
Right. So I had the pleasure of reading the book, and I can say that like when everybody buys the book, you will be able to see like every emotion, and you're gonna laugh in the book, like you're definitely gonna cry in the book, and I think people will get to know you a little better.
Yes, definitely.
Like throughout the book. So like it's such a sensitive subject. I think you're so strong. So what made you want to tell your own story? Like even put your own, it's like kind of putting your business out there like a reality show.
Mm-hmm. You know, again, I hid it for a long time. I hid it from my family, hid it from my friends, because you don't know how to process it. It takes a toll on your self-esteem. Mm-hmm. You're really not you anymore. And I guess from me drawing on the healing and my strength, it just made me say, I can't hide this anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, I need people to know that, you know, this is me now. You know, then I was broken. I was broken into a lot of little pieces, and just like broken bones. When people break their bones, you can't see on the outside that bone is broken. Mm-hmm. You know, there's so many ways a bone can be broken. A compound, shattered, it can be a clean break, but you still can't see that. And that was me. I was putting up a good front. I mean, you know, for years I did that. But as I was going through the healing process, I got stronger. You know, I drew more on my faith. And I began to realize I'm whole, I'm here, I'm happy. And I need people to know, I need people to know that even though you've gone through this, there's life after. I refuse to continue to be broken and to live that life like I'm defeated, or I'm what they kept telling me that I was, and that I believed at one point I was no good. And no, you know, God made me beautifully and wonderfully made, and people need to know that and feel that. And I had to say something. You know, it takes one person, and you know, maybe I can heal a lot of people. I can let people see and understand there's life after, and you can do better, and you need to appreciate and know who you are and draw strength from that.
Mm-hmm. So that a lot of people think like domestic abuse is like a physical thing. Like, but what about the mental or the emotional scars that you still carry after the physical is gone? You healed up from all the physical stuff. Yeah. How does the emotional and mental part still stick with you as a woman going through that?
Well, when you've been in a relationship with someone that constantly says negative things about you, you know, you sort of believe it after some time. It's like you conditioned to hear how inferior you are, or how somebody can do better than you. And you know, when people say things like, you know how many women I can get with, and you know, why would I want to stay with you, and nobody else wants you, and you kind of start to feel that, like, man, maybe nobody does want me. And so some people can get out of it. I'm fortunate that I was able to click that off, not instantly, but I was able to say, I'm not all those things you said about me. You know, it's sad that some women are stuck that way and they may not get out. And I don't know, I think my faith, me really relying on God, listening to sermons and hearing things and staying in prayer, I think God is the one that helped me get emotionally through it and to heal. Did I answer?
Like, what would you have to say to other women that, like, they become broken and go into themselves? How can they stay happy and go within themselves and be like, I am important? Because I know you feel like you are important because you stay so happy even though you went through all this.
Yeah. I draw on many different things. One being God. You know, I try to stay in prayer. I try to center myself around positive people. And now that I'm speaking my truth, you know, it's important for my family to see me happy. It's important for my children to know that I'm happy. And it's important for me. You know, I felt like once I got rid of the baggage, when I looked in the mirror, I saw a different me. I felt like I had shedded all the darkness. It was like almost like losing a ton of weight. And now you're like, oh, that's her. You know, I miss her. You know, and that's what I got. Once I got her back, I'm going to do everything I can to keep her here. And yeah, it's a lot of things. You have to center yourself and know that once you get that peace back, you protect that peace like it's your kid. You know, I'll fight somebody for my peace. And I'm good. And that's what I need women to know and understand, that once you let those things go and you start to rebuild yourself, it is a wonderful feeling to know that you have that peace back. Yeah.
I can tell you feel wonderful.
I do.
So how does that?
But what they need to know and understand is, like I said before, you're God's child. You're beautifully and wonderfully made.
Right.
You know, he did not put you here to be abused, to be called names, to be belittled, to have any type of hurt from somebody else.
When you're just trying to love.
Yeah, you know, that's not love. And we need to stop making little things like being called a bitch, or being called some other kind of name, or, you know, being shoved or grabbed. It's not okay. It's not. And we need to stop making that okay just for the sake of, I'm in a relationship and I'll do anything to keep this relationship. Whether it be marriage, if it's parent-child abuse, anything, it's not okay.
Right.
That's the creative part of me. I wanted my book to be set up unique and different. I didn't want it to be just a regular read. I kind of wanted to, and you know, I think life is poetic. You know, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but you know, exactly. So I wanted to kind of give you a little teaser in the beginning, but I wanted to do it in poetic form and be creative and different. Like, okay, I like this. You know, this is different. And you know, I wrote a lot of poetry as I was going through my hurt and pain. I wrote about the relationship that I wanted to have, and who I wanted to be, and how I wanted to feel. And that kind of got me through, just like singing in church kind of was like my healing, and, you know, let me sing out some pain and, you know, get that out. So yeah, that's how I just wanted to throw a little of my spin of poetry on there.
Well, actually, from the outside looking in too, I want to say, give you some kudos for it, because I think it is kind of amazing that, like, before you read the chapter, you're going to read the poem, and you'll be like, I was like, okay, she wrote a little poem for this. But once you read the chapter, you might go back and read the poem again and be like, this little bitty poem, this like 3 lines or 3 paragraphs told what this whole chapter was about. It's like recording a song. You know what I mean? Like, so in essence, like, you're kind of like a producer.
Thank you.
You know
That's
what I mean?
list.
I know, right? So I want to thank you for coming to sit with me and talk about your pain. which turns into pleasure, and thank you, Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
So I think in a minute we just gonna have you read an excerpt from your book if you don't mind.
I'm sure.
All right. So before we get out of here though, I want you to tell everybody where they can go buy the book and go see your website and just see more of Stevie Michaels and her plight and her bouts with whatever she's going through, that she turned pain to pleasure. And like we can all do it, and you can all do it, and it's never all right. Just remember that. Domestic violence is never all right. It's mental, it's emotional, and it's physical. So everybody just watch yourself. Just treat everybody right.
Yes.
All right? God bless.
The party moved back inside and more entertainment began. I made an announcement of the house rules, and this ignorant Negro got disrespectful with me yet again. This time, I wasn't called a bitch, but I certainly was going to be one. Everybody out. You all have to go, like Martin Payne, I yelled. What? Someone yelled back at me? Yes. Get your shit and get out of my house. This dude thinks I'm stupid and I'm not playing with him. Everybody gathered whatever they came in with. As I watched each and every one of them to make sure that no one took any of my parents' belongings. I tried to tidy up a bit and noticed that this a-hole didn't have a ride. Everybody left his sorry ass at my house. Damn. He and his friends were standing in my driveway like someone was coming to pick them up. I mean, these two nut jobs were looking up and down the street like, yep, they'll be here in any minute. After about 30 minutes, I asked my friend Angel, who was upstairs in my room, tipsy and asleep, to keep an eye and ear out for my baby who was asleep in his crib nearby in my room. I put the phone next to her and I locked up the house and I put the thugs in my car to drive them to the city as fast as I could. As I started to leave my neighborhood, Devin started to argue with me. You know, I didn't like how you kicked all my friends out. You made me look bad. I was stunned once again. What the hell? This dude never ceased to amaze me. Are you for real? I said smartly. You totally disrespected me and I'm sick of it. Fuck you, I shouted as I'm entering the curved ramp on the expressway. Devin reached from the passenger seat over to the driver's seat and placed his hands around my neck and pushed me backwards. Shut the fuck up, he yelled as he choked me. I felt my feet move away from the accelerator, and I struggled to keep my hands on the steering wheel of my small pink Iris Escort I had, and I thought it was so cute. I thought of my baby at home sleeping so sweetly and not knowing what his father was doing to me. I thought of Hawaii and how I should have gone with my parents. I thought of when I should call the police. I thought of how I should kick his black ass without me looking battered. I thought I was going to die at the hands of my son's father. I could barely hear his friend yelling, "Devin, no, don't do it like that. We're going to crash." I couldn't breathe and was struggling to break free from the control of the car. He somehow assisted in getting Devin off of me as I was veering over to the right on the shoulder and into the grass beyond the shoulder. By the grace of God, I was able to stop the car without crashing or killing us. I jumped out right as he was jumping out, and I charged towards him and I swung with all my might. And unfortunately for him, I clipped him just a little bit. I was out of breath and ready to fight for my life again. I was able to catch him with my foot and gave a swift kick to his shin. I tried to swing again, and he moved to the side and grabbed me again. This time his friend charged him and knocked him to the ground. They tussled a bit and finally calmed down. At this point, I am stunned, dizzy, and trying to gain some sense of what to do. I didn't know where my cell phone was, and I didn't even remember how I even stopped the car safely. For all I knew, my pretty pink car was rolling slowly onto the expressway. That's it. Third time, my charm, Stevie Michaels.
You don't want nobody else to go through this. So how can they reach you and how can they buy the book? Because you need to read this book. Third time, my charm. Let them know.
If you want to reach me personally, it's trulypoeticinc@gmail.com, and it's TRULYPOETIC poeticInc@gmail.com. My website is trulypoeticinc.com. You can buy the book on the website, or it's also available on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble.
And you can even read an excerpt if you go to Amazon too.
Yes.
But trulypoeticinc.com. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Hi, this is Stevie Michaels, author of Third Time My Charm. If you or anyone you know is experiencing any form of domestic abuse, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. Again, have them call or you call 1-800-799-7233. And remember, none of it is all right.
I just came to say hi. Hello. Let me introduce myself. Hello. The name is Nefarious. Hello. Nice to meet you, my nigga. Hello. I just came to say hi. Hello. Let me introduce myself. Hello. The name is Nefarious. Hello. Nice to meet you, my nigga.
Cutty's Couch is sponsored in part by Chalant Magazine.